Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Afternoon Market Action. My name is Glenn.
My name is Ryan.
We're going to be your host for the next hour or so, talking about what's going on in the market, what stocks to keep your eyes on, what stocks to not keep your eyes on, and all that kind of stuff. And
what stocks should you not keep your eyes on?
Don't keep your eyes on gold.
Gold?
Yeah, don't keep your eyes on other stocks. We're going to talk about some of those other stocks.
Let's do it.
Probably don't keep your eyes on the stocks that you've picked out. That's probably the best way to go.
I knew you were going to
If you can hear us loud and clear, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let us know that we are coming across loud and clear. And we were just noticing that today. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Get it out of the way.
Right? Especially if you want your stocks analyzed.
That's
Remember,
right.
Every 10 stocks we analyze, every 10 likes we analyze a stock. And we've been sticking to that lately.
Yeah, it's true.
So.
Did Glenn create this music we are listening to? No, and Joey didn't either.
You should create an intro.
I did,
and
then Joey used it and then said that I infringed on some patents or something, which is pure garbage. Which is pure garbage.
So the one song you created was copyrighted.
That's what Joey said, which I think was BS. That's what BS. Big day. That's right. NVDA.
That's what we've all been waiting for.
And HWM is a stock that I pointed out to you a while ago in the aerospace and defense space. It's been a great stock. It's been a great stock. Hear you. Glad to see y'all's hats are correctly. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me check to make sure. Yeah. Was it last week? I had my hat on backwards. It didn't even freaking out.
Reading like 3 different comments.
Oh my gosh! I didn't.
Wait, my hat?
My hat was on backwards. So,
how are we feeling about NVIDIA? I've got an NVIDIA story today.
I got an NVIDIA story today too.
So we'll let you know, Mark, here in just a moment.
And I think Fed minutes are today. Joey, can you? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Can you put me on?
We all know you don't.
I'm just trying to get back to the stories. Get me. Alt tab. Okay. There we go. I want to go, whatever. Research. Let's go to, see if I think there was minutes today. I think there was just minutes today. And maybe I'm wrong. I think I was wrong because it should have happened already.
Yeah, there would be an alert.
It should have just happened already, but it doesn't look like, I thought that there were minutes today. Maybe that was wrong. All right, let's go back to the home page of the VectorVest software, see what's going on. Mixed market today. Only the NASDAQ is up, and it's only up slightly, yes?
I mean, it's up 0.0.
Yeah, it's straight flat.
The market is flat on anticipation of NVIDIA's earnings.
I think that everybody's taking a wait and see going on when it comes down to...
Why does it always feel like the whole market is depending on NVIDIA's earnings?
Because sometimes the market is stupid. That's what it comes down to. Now, the word stupid is not very nice. It's not. I'm thinking that the market...
That's a bully term.
It's a bully? Am I a bully?
I hope not. You're supposed to be
anti-bully. Give me your lunch money.
The stuff I have to go through.
All right. So, I think the market is just doing what it's doing. It is, so... We'll see. And the market is flatosity. So what is that? Flatiosity?
Well, last week we gave it up because the new tariffs on the
50% on the EU.
Now, over the weekend, they're saying it's paused. So I think the market's just going to chill for a minute.
And I think the
market needs to chill.
I think the market's sitting back and listening to all this tariff news and going, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It can change. I mean.
And if Akshay
so now we're just waiting on NVIDIA's earnings.
Akshay is going to say everything changes from a tweet. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of that. It is what it is. All right. So what industries are moving? Only one, and it's flat too, and that's electrical connectors. What sector? Aerospace and defense. Look at that. Nice move up about 0.8%. I'm a big fan of DFAN.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of HWM.
And I gave you a huge shout out.
I saw that.
Tonight's video.
I can't believe you actually did that. I was like impressed that you would actually
Why
do
would
that.
I not give you a shout out?
Because you're such a hater. You're such a hater. You're such a hater. So I'm just saying.
There you go, gaslighting me.
Yeah,
you're a bully, buddy. Just don't do what Glenn does. Don't do it.
Give me your lunch money.
Give me your lunch money. But aerospace and defense, going into NVIDIA's earnings, there really wasn't a whole lot of, in certain industries or sectors not making a lot of moves. But aerospace and defense, I like what I see, and in the stock picks that the VectorVest 7 system gave me.
There's a couple of stocks in there that I didn't anticipate were going to be at the top of the list, which is a great thing from the software. Looking at 9,500 stocks, sometimes you will get stocks that you weren't even aware of that are on the radar that you should be looking at, which is a great thing.
And I typically don't use this layout, not that it's a bad layout, but I did use a crowd favorite, the NPI, or near perfect indicator. So not only do I break down the stocks, I broke down the sector, but I like what I see, so definitely check out tonight's video. And again, thank you, Glenn. That was a good call on aerospace
Whatever,
defense.
I'm not listening to you because you're such a hater anyway. All right. With that being said, let's give
you the
let's go
stare.
take a look at, what is this? All right. This is big deal. Everybody wants to complain about the tariffs. It seems like, and back me up on this or tell me, every month that the tariffs have been putting on, we're taking in more and more money. Yes, no, or indifferent?
Yes.
Okay.
But
I
saw...
There's the but. I wanted to hear the but. I wanted to hear the but. Okay.
But I saw an article today, and I'm sure you saw that Elon Musk spoke clearly against the big, beautiful bill.
He did. He said because we were spending more money, we were adding to the deficit.
Pretty much it just undermined the whole Doge efforts, and trust me, I get the Doge efforts, cutting expenses, tariff revenue, I get to some degree there as far as raising revenue. But if it's all a wash with this new bill, then is all the stuff we're going through right now worth it?
So what if this continues to grow on a month-over-month basis? Do you think that only $22 billion, right?
As long as our national debt clock continues to rise, that's
an issue.
That's my issue. I don't care who you voted for, what side of the aisle you are on, but as long as that rises and continues to rise, that will be my concern going forward.
Umizoomi, earnings comes out after the bell. Ryan and I will be here for a little while to listen to the earnings call. So we will be here live tonight to listen to the earnings call. Make sure you join up.
4:45, and then the earnings call 5 p.m. Eastern. Yes, it's 2 Pacific.
And then we're going to just listen to it for a little bit to see what they say. For the most, it's going to be blah, 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 blah. I think the both of us
have some really good commentary. Well, and we all know the concern that the Chinese development.
That's going to be the big part of forward guidance.
So hopefully, he gives a clear, picture, because I know a lot of companies have, pulled back guidance based on tariffs and stuff.
They have.
And if NVIDIA pulls back on guidance because of that,
that's going to affect
create a lot of uncertainty.
The TSMs, the AMDs, all of the SMCIs.
That's going to roll over into the whole tech, NASDAQ 100, semiconductor. So hopefully that's not the case, that NVIDIA joins. Because a lot of companies have done that, pulled their forward guidance. So
we'll see. Umizoomi also, I do have NVDL. I also picked up NVDD. I did a stock way of doing a straddle without doing a straddle.
Okay.
So I have the upside of the stock, the NVDL, and I have the downside of the stock, NVDD.
Are either of them leveraged?
Yes.
DDD or DD?
DD, I think they're both 2-time leverage.
Okay.
All right, so that's the way I'm playing NVIDIA. I'm still bullish on NVIDIA, but something tells me it depends on what the guidance is going to be, which is why I have the NVDD. Glenn says, blah, blah, blah. Good thing he ain't marketing for the videos. Oh, wait, I am. Yeah.
Good thing he's not marketing.
All right, first story. That was market news. First story is Ryan's today. Auto giant Stellantis appoints Antonio Filosa. He's Italian. Antonio Filosa, forget about it, as the new CEO. I don't think the market likes it.
No, and it was interesting. So the appointment means, let's see here, Carlos Tavares, who unexpectedly resigned in December after a sharp drop in profit, falling sales, and problems in the U.S. Pretty much the company, almost like an Intel, right? A lot of trouble, a lot maybe outdated methods, a lot of other competition has now succeeded them, and they're hoping this new CEO is going to bring life back to the company. But very similar to Intel, the life just not coming back here. And then here we go, the Fed minutes.
Oh, there it is.
Actually, let's click on this real quick. But yeah, essentially, that company was in trouble and they appointed a new CEO.
Ooh.
Fed worried it could face difficult trade-offs and tariffs re-aggravate inflation. Minutes show.
So they're still on the page of seeing whether or not inflation really does rear its head. With all of the pauses, inflation is not running higher yet.
Well,
really?
Tariff affected products are just now hitting markets here. So maybe on the next inflation report, but definitely on the following. And the other problem is the tariffs have, they're enacted, they're postponed,
Right.
they're enacted, they're postponed.
And I think it's
so I don't think we're going to get.
Is it really strategic to put them in play, get the market all riled up just to pull them back? And I don't know if that's strategic. And if it is strategic, I don't like nobody playing with my money.
It's keeping the inflation number low
That
right
it is.
now.
That it is.
Because if tariffs did go full effect, that's going to impact inflation. The degree, that's debatable.
It's going to be to what degree?
To what degree?
To what degree?
And to what degree does certain parts of the supply chain absorb that cost, or are the parts of the supply chain just going to put that on the customer or consumer?
Well, it's going to be.
If they put it on the consumer,
we're going to get screwed. All right.
Yeah, probably.
So this is an interesting story. I thought there was minutes today.
So look, you're not losing it, but you still got it. You're okay.
Stop touching.
Look, he's top notch today.
I don't like you right now.
Top notch. I'll let you take over.
Do you feel high inflation pay more or less lately? I think, the unfortunate thing about inflation, when the Fed talks about it, it takes out the real things that affect America, which is food and fuel. You know that if you add food and fuel to the inflation number, we'd be sitting at about 10% inflation, something like that. So the real inflation number, really that we feel, is not being looked at, or it's looked at in a different site and nobody looks at it. So do I still feel it? I'm still paying $3.65 a gallon for premium.
I think as long as housing and cost of living is so high in this country,
that's why we got
to put pressure on labor, and labor's going to affect the bottom line.
So think about that. You talk about that. I got a kid. One of our daughters is living at the house and has been for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Bless her
and you're
heart.
not alone.
But I'm looking at her making about $21 an hour. Even with that, man, where's she going to afford to live?
That's 21. That's only like $43,000 a year full time.
Where's she gonna live when you look at the mean rents? Mm-hmm. Right now sitting at what, $1,400 a month, and that's for like a 2-bedroom place. I mean, that's how does somebody
no money to save up for a house?
Absolutely.
So
and I think
that the American dream.
I think that America as a whole is feeling that, and it's tough. It is tough, and you're right. As long as housing is out of reach for the majority of America, man, it's tough.
It's out of touch. I mean, I think I said this on this live stream last week or the week before, that to afford the average house here in North Carolina, I think it was $114,000 salary. So even between a split household income,
that's true. That's still tough.
That's still $60,000 a household. So, is what it is.
I love this comment, and this is real. 23-year-old here. That's his graffiti read. Recent college grad. Job market is really bad and can't find a job. I will be living at home until I'm at least 27. So I did see a story on the news this morning before I came to work about people getting out of school, getting out of college with degrees, having a hard time finding a job.
That's been going on for 15
but
years.
But no, what's really been going on for the last 15
because I graduated right around the 2008 recession.
And think about it.
It was hard to find a job.
Are you working?
And I was during a recession.
Are you working in the field where you got your degree?
No. Most students don't.
And it's interesting how much money students put into their college education to not even work.
And when they get a job, employers want to give them $18, $20 an hour.
Exactly.
And they just spent $60,000 on a degree.
There's a lot to talk about. When you ask the question about is inflation affecting America.
But the debate of even college, is it worth it these days? For most degrees, probably not.
And so the idea is, why not go to a trade school? And and I'm all
but there's
for that.
other ways. I mean, there's all kinds of certifications you can get to make money. Whether it's cloud computing certifications, IT certifications, real estate certification. College is not a one-all be-all.
This is interesting, very, very interesting. All right, let's go to the next story. Nuclear stocks extend rally as Trump aims to quadruple
uranium
U.S. nuclear capacity by 2050. I did, it seemed like on April 15th, Ryan gave me the props for it, but on April 15th, I did, was it for uranium? No. What are you doing tonight? Uranium?
Defense.
No, it was defense. It was April 15th, I did a defense story.
Okay.
But recently I did a uranium story. Listen, I want to talk to everybody in here who has not subscribed to the channel. A lot of the stocks in a lot of the industries that we've talked about, we've already laid the groundwork in previous videos. I invite everyone who is not a subscriber to the channel to hit that subscribe button right now.
And you do make a good point, because when I put out a certain video, there are items that I may not have mentioned in that video, just because, like you said, we lay down the foundation as we go into a topic or do follow-up videos. So keep that in mind as well. And you can always search that on if you go on YouTube and just type in VectorVest defense stocks, you'll see all the videos or all of our defense stocks. You do VectorVest AMD or VectorVest Bitcoin, you'll see all of them grouped up.
Or like you see about nuclear stocks,
yeah.
Go and type uranium in the channel.
Yeah, typically our titles say uranium, not nuclear.
Go see what we got on the channel. Go see what the Golden Dome is huge. It's going to be huge, ABB. All right, so I got some nuclear stocks to take a look at.
Nice.
NVIDIA, whose one is this one?
That one's yours.
All right, NVIDIA China revenue set to cross $6 billion in Q1 as investors brace for export ban impact. And that's going to be the key part of tonight's story, of tonight's report, where that stands. Do they write this off, or does it hit them on Q1, or do they move it over to Q2? Because it's going to hit them.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're going to take a loss in this export ban. So, but is it going to be this quarter, or is it going to be next quarter? Brother Glenn, not allowed to subscribe. Lost money for Pro. VV left UK market. You're not allowed to subscribe to the channel?
You can subscribe to the VectorVest channel.
I'm not, and I know we left the UK market, and again, we talked about why we did that. Trying to buy a house in Toronto, unaffordable, $6,000 to $7,000 US. Man, I'm pushing the button, but it's not doing anything. You just push it once. You probably keep hitting and then hitting it back.
Matthew, you have a, I did specialize in ICBM defense systems, but over the GCC back in college, I would imagine the Golden Dome would need Canada's airspace to be truly effective, especially from over the Arctic when it comes to Russia.
Forget that. We just do it. What are they going to do? They're going to get mad at us? No, you can't come shoot in our airspace, no. I'll be like,
I can't wait.
I'll be like, yo.
Let's hear that accent again, bud.
Oh, you want to come shoot over our airspace?
And now hit him with the Brooklyn.
And then, forget about it. We're going to do it. Forget about it. We're going to do it.
Hit him with that Brooklyn.
But you know something? You're probably right. Somebody said, I think you're right.
We could, but it's not going to be as efficient.
I agree.
It's not going to be as efficient. Look, Glenn bullying Canada now.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm not saying anything bad about Canada. No. We're going to keep on going here. All right, next one. Box bounces. This is my story, too. Box bounces on Q1 billings. Growth crushes estimates. Impress analysts. Interesting about Box. I have a Box account. I have several different storage accounts. OneDrive, Box, a couple of others. I think it's a great way to store stuff outside of my computer, but evidently a lot of people are feeling the same way when it comes down to that.
Well, what I think it is, and now I've crossed this bridge myself.
Okay. What bridge have you crossed?
On my Gmail account, right?
Okay.
Gmail's been free for ages for me, right?
Okay.
But I hit the data threshold. They got no more data for me. Now I got to pay.
Right. They got to pay.
Me. So I think it's genius that, Box, Google, however it is, but think about it, we've had all these free emails, these free phones, like all of our data is going to hit a max, and then we've all got to switch over to paid services.
So it's interesting.
Or lose all of our stuff.
So it's interesting. So when I got my first company computer.
Gmail got me.
No. When I got my first company computer, I was working for Johnson Controls.
Okay.
First company laptop, a little rollerball type of deal. Yeah, it was
the rollerball.
Little rollerball. Do you know that the memory on my computer was 1 gig? And I was like, whew, I will never use 1 gig of memory. My phone by itself, it's got 256 gigs of memory. outside of just what a laptop used to do. So that's why they're capitalizing, because the world is expanding so much data. They say, "Oh, you want to go?"
Yeah, we're not going to hold this data
That's
for free.
right.
You know, they'll lead you in, lure you in, like, oh, it's free. But then as soon as you get that threshold, no, we're going to hit you.
And then you got to go, damn, I still need this information.
And I started that email account probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah, I have
back when email was really starting to pick up.
You probably still have an AOL account too.
No, it's just I've got 2 Gmail accounts. Okay. But now that everyone who signed up for an email about 10 years ago, over the next few years, they're going to get hit, especially with pictures and videos. Everyone's got that. It's taking up a lot of room. Don't turn on Google Photos. That was like 60% of my storage drive.
And I don't have Google Photos.
I got to go through and start deleting old photos and videos.
I just keep it on my phone.
I pulled out, it was like 7,000 photos and videos. And probably I can live with 200 of them.
I don't even need that many.
I don't even need that.
All right. Is this my...
You got quantum emotion.
How did I do 3 in a row? What the flying flip did I do? So this is, it finalizes QRNG hybrid chip design. This was really supposed to be looking at QNCCF. Okay. Big move on QNCCF.
The stock's been struggling, but so a lot of quantum. But that one, look, it's down right now.
It was down like
17%.
There it is. It was down. Woo. Big story though. I'm going to look at it. I saw the deal with them in TSMC and was like, "Whew, this is something to keep our eyes on."
That's a big partnership.
Yeah,
because TSMC, I mean, think about it. They're top dog when it comes to regular chips. So I have a feeling they're going to be top dog or near it when it comes to quantum chips. At least on the manufacturing side.
So a down day, big down day, but I want to keep my eyes on it. All right, I think the next couple of stories should be yours. I don't know what I did today. I put them in order. This ain't mine. This ain't mine.
Oh, really? That one's
I don't have Kathy Woods. I would never put a Kathy Woods story.
I ain't got no Kathy Woods either, so we'll keep going. All right, this one is yours. Not that it's bad. It's just bad, but...
How did I get all of these stories?
You got GameStop. Here, I'll go mine first.
All right,
Here, we'll switch around.
GameStop is crap. All right, that's all I got to say about that.
Similar story. This is the more important thing, and I've said this before. Doesn't matter what I think about Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we're seeing the Bitcoin reserves. I mean, think about our vice president was at the Bitcoin conference today giving a speech. Gaming firm.
Hold on.
SharpLink raises $425 million to load up on Ethereum.
Okay, go ahead.
And that does coincide with Glenn's story, another company here, GameStop, brick and mortar store.
And they're getting into Bitcoin.
$500 million. That's $1 billion of investment just between those two companies. Putting it, and this is what I thought was interesting, and really, me as a Bitcoin believer, look at this. Ethereum adoption as a corporate treasury asset. I see that as that trend going forward. And that's just my personal opinion. That is not a VectorVest opinion.
All right, so let's go research. Where is it? Let's go see because we don't track crypto itself.
It's like 107.
107. Last 7 days up 1%. Ethereum, a big move again. Last 7 days, the big mover. Ethereum. I think Ethereum 7%.
Really has to shine because Ethereum hasn't gone anywhere in like 4 or 5 years. Bitcoin has taken a run. Ethereum's biggest competition is the other altcoins: XRP, Solana, Litecoin, things of those nature.
XRP, oh shit.
Tether, the stable.
Those are all altcoins.
Well, Tether is a stable coin, which means it's just pegged to the dollar. It's kind of like going into cash when you're in a crypto portfolio.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't understand.
You keep telling me about that. It doesn't make sense to me. It does. Janice says Joey had the Kathy story. I don't know who had the Kathy. Why did you just? What did you?
I just deleted those. The GameStop and crypto stories. I was just deleting them.
Kathy Wood.
Well, let's read it. Is there a good story at least?
I don't know. This is not my story.
Acquiring, she's a buyer of NVIDIA, 34,000 shares of NVIDIA ahead of the chipmaker's highly anticipated quarterly earnings report.
I really don't know.
So clearly, Kathy Wood's feeling bullish on NVIDIA.
Do you trust Kathy Woods?
I mean, she has...
She has what? Go ahead, justify it.
She is all of her stock picks are very futuristic. Like
I'll say that.
Very futuristic tech companies. And of those, I think NVIDIA, especially with our valuation... The stock still being undervalued, that's a smart move on her part.
Okay.
because she's a long-term investor with this.
I don't like her picks.
But a lot of her picks are crap.
Okay.
The one thing that a lot of these funds will not do well with interest rate rising. So if you do trade ARK funds, a lot of what she doesn't talk about, what a lot of people don't talk about, are interest rates and how they're moving. Depending on the year, it's going to affect these type of stocks as a whole. So when interest rates rise, or rising cycle, ARK fund stocks, probably not where you want to be. But if you're in an interest rate decline cycle,
same like being in a mutual fund, same kind of deal.
Yeah.
All right.
So this one I thought was an interesting story. Obviously one of the biggest things is going to be mentioned today is China. Not only the money NVIDIA's losing because of the chip restrictions, but NVIDIA ultimately had a monopoly when it came to the chip industry, even within China. But now with those chip restrictions in place, they have built an entire semiconductor supply chain ecosystem. And this article does a great job breaking that down. As I scroll down here, chip design, you've got HiSilicon. Its parent company is Huawei versus NVIDIA. You got SMIC versus TSMC.
Is that right? Should it be SMCI?
SMIC. No, it's not talking about SMCI, Supermicron. SMIC is a top Chinese chip foundry.
Okay. Versus
and you see right here, rules bar Chinese firms from buying chips measuring less than 14 nanometers. So anything less than 14, China has to do itself, right? Well, look, they're on the cusp of producing 5 nanometer next generation.
We're already on 2.
To put that in perspective,
right?
Taiwan Semi, Samsung, they're at 2. Intel is literally at 5, but they've got some 3 in the works. So essentially, China is pretty much caught up with Intel.
Do you know the ASML? My kid works for them.
Did you know that that's next? Well, here you've got Samsung flash memory. The last one is the lithography part.
So the first companies are all Chinese companies?
Yeah, so the first one's all Chinese. The second one's like its rival. So this, again, I call it the semiconductor mafia. This is Netherlands. This is Taiwan. This is the United States. So it's China versus the world, essentially.
I like this story.
It's a great story.
Good job.
It's a good way to kind of just break down, because this is the biggest thing. If China comes out with technology that's, gets up to par with NVIDIA or surpasses TSMC, ASML with their technology, I mean, there is no restricting them at that point. They've been unleashed. And
do you really
Jensen Huang said, and even AMD, Lisa Su, I follow them very closely, they have been very adamant against these chip restrictions, because since they've started these chip restrictions back under Trump 1, and then Biden, and then now Trump 2, it's led a huge gap, right? So now China's filled that gap. They've poured hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, our CHIP Act was
are the chips good? Are they?
I mean, they're up to 5 nanometer.
I don't know.
Are they good? Oh, they're good chips.
Quality-wise. Yeah, how do you know?
Now, they have not gotten to advanced AI chips.
So what GPUs. Chips that are 5 nanometer are good? That's what I'm asking. Because China's going to tell you what they want you to think what they want you to know.
Correct. Well, here they said there were comparable. Oh, here it is, right here. Huawei claimed last year that its 910B AI chip beat NVIDIA's A100 chip. A100 is the one that was allowed still in China, right?
Yeah, because they're higher value.
Wait, no, which has been restricted. Okay, so this one has been restricted. In some tests, but analysis from the Center of Security Emerging Technology, Georgetown University, called them roughly comparable, while noting that multiple U.S. chip firms produce chips that surpass any Huawei. So yeah, we're still ahead of them. With the advanced AI chips. But as far as like your average chips, they're already there.
I don't want an average chip.
I don't want an average chip.
You can have an average chip, and I think that let them stay with average chips. That's about it. But I do like this story. I like the breakdown of the story.
But I just think it's interesting that they're not just going after design. They're not just going after the lithography. They're going after the whole supply chain.
Well, I mean, why not?
And they already got the rare earths. So once they find the technology, couple that with their monopoly rare earth.
We got our own rare earth. You see.
Oh, you got a rare earth story?
Yeah, I got no. But if you looked at your story about
the coal ash. No, yeah. And just like anything, the more it becomes important, the more we're going to start looking for
Absolutely.
it. And the more we're going to find, you know.
So,
but this I thought was good. This is my Bitcoin warning, you could say. It's 10 to 20 years out, according by this article. But BlackRock, their exchange traded fund, has put out a certain disclosure, and that disclosure, where is it right here? Oh yeah, the filing specifically warns if quantum tech advances far enough, it could break the cryptographic systems that secure Bitcoin, which is, I think it's the SHA-256 algorithm. But essentially, if quantum can break this, they can break just about any firewall a bank has right now. So not only Bitcoin, but the whole world will be on edge once quantum computing is really unleashed.
So I was listening to Fox News yesterday on my way home, and a guy was on the radio, he was on the Will Kane show, talking about a book he wrote that Everyone Will Die. And he was talking about how advanced robotics will take over the world. Kind of scary story. But if you look at that whole idea about robotics, talk about quantum, talking about AI, that's kind of interesting. As you talk about that story.
So this right here, I think, Joe, I sent you the wrong link. This story was actually supposed to be the Russell 3000 is getting readjusted.
Okay, so
there's a lot of big popular companies that are getting into the Russell 3000. Ones that were introduced, Qubit, Serve Robotics.
That's where you got those other stuff. Okay,
yeah, that's where I got those other, and I'll talk about them. But yeah, look at the Russell 3000 introduction. Somehow I put the wrong link here. But they kicked out some names, not that popular names, but the names they brought, some quantum, some robotics companies, some well-known companies, and a couple of them I put in a watch list here. So.
All right. So that's all of the stories that we have, and we're right at 2:30. That was right on perfect time. Woo-hoo. Let's go back into
the Matrix.
The software. Somebody said, who said about the Matrix? That's what the Matrix was all about. Hello, Mr. Ryan. You know what I don't like? I don't like when the market moves the way it does and you smell the stench of it.
ADD puts out a good point.
And you're going to say, I'm not Ryan, I'm Neo. Okay. There you go.
Glenn says, trade with the trends, not your heart or future. I do like that. Like the quantum stocks. I mean, yeah, they have the ability to change the future, but a lot of them are overvalued. So I'm not, so I'd stay on the right side of the trend line when it comes to a lot of these companies.
All right. So we already looked at what's going on the homepage. Let's go
aerospace. I was just looking at aerospace defense gave up its gain.
It was up 0.86.
NASDAQ's still flat, 0. It's not moving nowhere.
But it's the only thing in the green.
I don't know. Whoever bought options today, they're just getting killed by some theta.
That's what's in there.
Getting killed by the theta.
NVIDIA. All right.
Just a heads up.
Why do you keep jumping like that? What?
I'm not going to give you a heart attack. What?
Oh, my gosh. Go ahead.
I was going to say Memorial Day special. If you're interested in options, if you're interested in swing trading, if you're getting close to retirement and not sure how to place covered calls, take advantage of our instructors here. We got Jim Penna. Jim Penna used to be on the floor of Wall Street, right? Wasn't he a market maker?
He was a market maker. I don't know if he was on the floor.
Yeah.
He was at a trading desk.
So if you want, perspective from individuals who've been doing this decades-long experience, we got courses up to 73% off until June 2nd. You got a few days left. Take advantage of it.
And no, we do not trade futures, David. We don't do futures. All right. Joining Glenn, you rocked with SMR early call. Oh, thanks. Man, I put a lot of calls. I don't remember. Stop clicking it more than once. Just leave it alone.
I was clicking it.
Oh, you want to leave it there? Okay.
I was trying to get rid of it.
Well, you were clicking it and clicking it again and clicking it again. What the hell? All right, let's go to the viewers tab. Let's talk about what the markets are doing. Again, only the NASDAQ is up a little bit. Everything else is down. Volatility is down. Interesting, on a down day, volatility is down. We're not at the value of 20, so there's not a heightened level of volatility in the market. We'll see where that all goes. AMA big movers, no. Contras, on a down day, I talked about this in the Jockey Club this morning. Today might not be a bad day to day trade Contras. I'm not willing to sell anything short. Yang, though, that's the bearish side of China. up today. I wouldn't hold any of these contras overnight. I know the primary wave is down. You want to know that? Take a trial of the VectorVest software, 30 days for 99 cents. www.vectorvest.com/YT. 99 cents for 30 days. You'll get the guidance that we give our subscribers every night and tell you where we are as far as the market's concerned. Now, I'm seeing we got 54 likes. Remember, in a few minutes, we're going to start looking at stocks. Right now, you guys only got 6 stocks. You guys only got 6 stocks to look at.
6 stocks.
That's it. All right, hit the like button. For every 10 stocks, you get a like. For every 10 likes, you get a stock. All right, what else do I have? Current hot industry? No. Let's go to our picks. Here's our picks from the stories today. I got NVIDIA, but I got 3 ways to play NVIDIA. NVIDIA, NVDU as an ETF, and NVD, where the flying flip is it? Oh, NVDD. All right, so somebody said the NVDL and the NVDD is a wash. The whole idea is to be able, whichever way the stock moves after market in the morning, I'll close out the one that's losing. At least I could hopefully be on the winning side of the trade.
Okay.
All right, DFEN is in there. Box, 17% move on Box today. Uranium, nice little move. Uranium, one is down. Opal,
Energy Fuels, UUUU.
Yeah.
That also has some exposure to some rare earth. Some of their uranium fields have exposure rare earth. That was in my one of my rare earth videos back.
Do I have how many? I have 3 uranium stocks based on what's moving uranium. Looks like Oklo is a good play. Up today, 2.5%. GME, crap. It's just straight.
The company is so bad, it's now resorting on Bitcoin to save it.
Exactly. Meme stocks are in the news, but QNCCF. Again, I love the news with TSM. Been a big hit to the downside. You got to time these plays. All right, CEG was my other uranium play. There we go. 1, 2. There should have been 4 of them.
Wow, QNCCF has already got back up to 116?
Yeah, I know.
It jumped up then.
I know.
Because it was like 40, 50 cents, wasn't it?
Let's go read the stock graph real quick. Sugarfoot. I did
now
it.
You got to do it.
Now I got to do it. Right click.
And you got the shift.
Right click. Maximize. I don't know how to fix it. We got to call Tom. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah. Big
it was up big yesterday and giving back today. So it made the news. Again,
two bottom wicks.
Trades. These are trades. But
maybe put some Bollinger Bands on there and see if it's right in the fast lane if you're in it. Still some momentum to the upside.
And it is. It broke through. That makes sense. It's going to regress back to the mean since it broke outside the Bollinger Bands.
But even
look at the pinch prior too.
It's about 80 cents for the fast lane. So that's a good little cushion to let the stock run.
I agree. Now. If you want to give it a little bit more room.
If you're in it already. Right. If you're not in it already, I wouldn't rush to jump in.
I wouldn't either. So these are the stocks that made the news that are in my list today. Let's go look at my picks from last week. News stories. Hood. There's crypto. Gold. NVIDIA. Google. Crypto. CoreWeave. I did like the move on that. Let's go look and see what they did over the last week. Click on OK. Quick test all. Look at that. 2.8% on my picks from last week. Biggest move was CoreWeave. Nice move on CoreWeave. DFEN. Nice move on DFEN. NVIDIA. What hurt me the most?
Hood as well. 4%.
Look at the ones that did go against me. Not Bitcoin. By a lot. Interesting. And even the crypto.
Bitcoin, gold.
Crypto didn't go down way much, and neither did the gold play.
But look at Ethereum. I still think Ethereum is the place to be right now rather than Bitcoin.
I did play Ethereum. I made a little bit of money and got out of it because it was kind of volatile.
Yeah, no, I mean, crypto in general is definitely volatile. So, again, diamond hands.
Go ahead, Timothy. Go ahead. You go be your little diamond hands. All right, let's go Ryan's picks. If you want to talk about them, you got them out.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh, they're all down. That's pretty indicative of what Ryan picks. Good.
Stop it. He's such a bully. Okay. But no, I got NVIDIA, TSM, ASML. This is kind of the the article talking about Chinese semiconductor infrastructure. We've got Ethereum. Ethereum is seen as a treasury asset now on certain companies' books.
That's an interesting story.
Just like what GameStop is trying to do, use as a treasury. Well, GameStop, I think, is just
a meme stock
that's trying to take advantage of the Bitcoin meme status as well. But these are the companies, as Reddit, Qubit, IoT, Atom, Serve. These are the ones introduced to the Russell 3000. I thought that was a very interesting story here. And then I've got Stellantis, again, just appointing a new CEO. Still, car company.
Antonio Fabricio.
As far as companies in an uptrend right now, everything Qubit and above has an RT above 1. So these are currently in an uptrend. Buy recommendations. And if we look at forecasted data, what's the highest one here? Actually, it's going to be Reddit.
Interesting on that.
Followed by IoT Samsara.
I don't know why you keep talking about IoT.
I like IoT.
I know.
It makes dumb things smart, and this is a perfect.
It's a
I don't
dumb
know how
thing.
smart you turned out, but
whatever. You're such a hater.
Oh wait, shoot! I fell for your trap.
We got to get Tom to come over here and fix this.
Maximize. Here is IoT.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
I see a nice, maybe
you see a nice what
forming here, but relatively flat over the last 12 months. Let's look at valuation. I just want to look at the value here, see if it's still overvalued.
It would be in the capital appreciation. Okay. Evidently you didn't.
On it.
Evidently you didn't. That's all right.
Value still flat. Not doing a whole lot of anything. 5 years.
I'm not a fan of that stock.
But yeah, it's just so overvalued right now. $46. We're coming under 10. What a shame. But yeah, all these stocks here are introduced to the Russell 3000. And the stocks last week, what did we have here?
It seems you suspect that NVDA will continue the rise or fall at the opening. Again, Niles is going to be dependent upon the forward guidance. I still think that they beat top and bottom. It's going to be the forward guidance.
Up 0.5%.
There you go.
Big losers, XXRP, and the VIX.
All right. I beat you there. That's fine. Yeah. Let's go look at our portfolios real quick. My portfolios. AMA Glen. Where am I at? Oh, I'm only down less than 1%. Look at my equity curve. Look at that. Wow.
That's looking good.
What stocks am I in?
It's probably that Bitcoin you're holding.
I don't know.
It's probably all that Bitcoin you're holding.
That's not my biggest mover.
Taiwan Semi.
Taiwan Semi is in my defense play. And I'm in NVDL, Google, and Bitcoin. Everything in my portfolio is making money. I don't know if I'm gonna add to today because the market's down. I don't know. I might not. Let's go look at AMA Ryan. Woo! Way to go, Ryan. Yeah, but the big thing is, I don't know why your portfolio is down as much as it is. You got some really good movers. Look at that Tesla play, still in it. 41% good trade there, bro.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Good
AMD
trade.
up 16%, Bitcoin up 15%.
He's got some good trades, but man, his portfolio got killed. Look at that, down 8%. The portfolio is begrudgingly going up.
The problem is now I'm in too much cash on this.
Is that you think? I'm at the same. I got about 30,000.
I had heavy positions in the beginning, which brought me down beginning of the year. You need to know. What do you? I'm just saying. There's a big difference in being down 6% and being down less than 1%. Yeah. I'm not going to let you push my buttons anymore. I'm going to add some stocks to my portfolio.
Okay, there you go.
And let's see here. Ryan's picks this week.
There you go. Go ahead, Ryan. You need to do something. You got to stop the bleeding. You need to do something.
I'm going to go with Old Faithful NVIDIA.
Listen, you might have to go play it. You might have to go play it. We got to do some triage. Stat! Bring in the crash card! Bring in the crash card!
I like both of these companies, obviously. Okay. I'm going to add them to my portfolio.
All right.
View stock.
What do we got? 64 likes? We get ready to go into your stocks. Well, guess what? We're only going to be looking at 7 of your stocks. All right. If that's what y'all okay with, then that's on y'all. Wrong one, yeah. Just make sure. Not that one. That says 00.
I need this one. You got a lot of portfolios, bud.
I see y'all putting stocks in. But it looks like y'all only going to get about 7 stocks. That's about it. That's about it right there.
That about it.
That about it right there. I'm just saying. All right, so Ryan added $10,000 or so.
Go
ahead, put it higher. Go ahead.
No, we're not doing higher. I like NVIDIA. I got faith in NVIDIA.
All right, let's click off of it and click back on it. So Ryan picked up TSM and NVIDIA. I do like the move on your stocks that you got right now. You need some help. All right, let's go to mine. I don't think I'm going to stay right where I am. I'm thinking I'm fine right where I am because if we go to the graphs, I'm looking at all of the major indices. Still off the high on the Dow, still off the high on the spiders. The only one hitting a new high is the Qs. Still off the high on the IWM. I think that I am going to stay put. I like the movement of my portfolio on a down day today, still up about pushing 0.2%. Winners, I'm not adding, and I got about $33,000 sitting in cash as well. I don't think I'm going to add to the portfolio.
No, I've got good cash holdings. I've got good quality stocks. I got a couple defensive plays.
I'm still using 10% trailing. Do I have NVIDIA? I do. You know what I am going to do just to be on the safe side? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Let's take that.
Add a short?
Yep. I'm going to straddle it. Add trade. Buy long NVDA. I'm just going to protect that. I'm going to protect that. Get the price. 245.
I've got AMD, Debbie.
I'm going to put, I don't know how much money I'm going to put in. I'm going to put about
$300.
$3,000. Stop. You don't know what I'm doing. Click on OK. Yep.
How much is your
I'm going to hedge that coming into earnings. I'm hedging the play. I'm hedging the play. All right. Because it could go either way. And what this is going to be, I'm going to put this out there. Based on the move tomorrow, I'm going to close one of them. All right, so I am putting that out there because I am hedging. Don't even look at me that way. Don't even, because we don't normally make any trades in the week.
We don't.
But
you get new rules now? You got special treatment?
Because I'm playing it as a hedge.
I see why you're down 1%.
I'm playing it as a hedge. I'm going to close one of them tomorrow. All right? I'm going to close one of them tomorrow. I want everybody to know to include you.
Let me see what I can do tomorrow.
Oh, wow. All right.
I'll buy the dip.
But at what time? The market open. Depends on what it does tomorrow. At the market open, I'm going to close one of them. I'm going to close one of them. All right. We got 68 likes.
They got seven picks.
They got 7 picks. Okay.
All right. So starting,
you guys know the drill. Viewers, customer picks. Let's go customer picks last week. Let's go do that first. Customer picks last week. All right.
All right. David's got the first stock in there.
Okay.
UNH,
Ryan is calling off the stocks. Quick test all. How did y'all do? Look at that. Almost 4% on their picks.
Nice.
Wayfair, is that Wayfair? Wayfair, everyone, everywhere. 2 stocks went down. Good picks last week, folks. Look at you guys up almost 4% for the week. All right, let's go. You get stock picks this week. Ryan, call them off.
All right, first one is UNH, United Health. We got SMCI.
Okay.
HIMS.
Okay.
Lunar.
LUNR. Okay.
Broadcom.
AVGL.
GEV.
GEV.
SEZL.
SEZL.
TSSI.
TSSI.
GLXY.
GLXY.
And that should be enough with the bonus.
All right, we got 7 likes, 70 likes.
I got 2 bonus.
And you got 2 bonus stocks. There you go. Wayfair, we got what you need. That's not what the song says.
Lunar down 3% today. Is something going on with Lunar?
Fine. Is it in here? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We can find out real quick. View the stock news. We'll do it real quick, only because Ryan is being a pain in the butt.
This one's always news-driven.
Yesterday. Ooh, Kramer said something about it. Yesterday, 3 monster stocks to hold for the next 10 years. Lunar's one of them? 4 days ago.
He said Lunar's one of them?
Should you buy Intuitive Machines rise below 12? Interesting. I'm interested. This is Motley Fool. Very
Does this have to do with?
Lunar, RXRX, which is a AI drug play. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. I've talked about that on more than one occasion. Intuitive.
We're going to be going to the moon.
We're going to be going to Mars.
Yeah, a lot. I don't know if you saw Russia and China are planning on their...
trying to get to the moon?
Yeah, well, they're putting a nuclear power station on the moon by 2035 is the goal.
What's it going to power? What's it going to power? What's on the moon to freaking power?
Well, they're going to mine the moon.
Mine the moon. So,
that's the next thing. Everyone wants to mine the moon.
You know what you need to
That's
mine?
why we got Space Force now, to protect the moon, bud.
It's part of the Air Force. The Space Force is...
Are you talking crap about the branch?
Yeah. It's not even a real branch.
Is it like the Coast Guard?
It's worse.
It's worse than the Coast Guard.
Holy smokes. Let me tell you something. The Coast Guard's no joke. The Coast Guard.
There's some badasses.
They're no joke. So I'm not going to talk bad about the Coast Guard.
But I think everyone's like, what is Space Force really?
They ain't nothing.
They do a lot of the Golden Dome. That's going to be led by the Space Force,
which is going to be the Air Force.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at these graphs.
No, it's Space Force. It's got to be in space.
It's the Department of the Air Force.
Air Force is not ground, but not space. It's in the air.
Shift. The hell.
Yeah, maybe you should tell your daughter to go join the Space Force, but they're hiring right now.
My daughter. Oh man.
What did you do?
I don't know. Oh crap.
Nice background picture.
That's Joey's background. All right. Right click.
It's a cool case.
Shift.
Here, let me take over.
All right.
Let me take over. It's okay, Papa.
Whatever.
One day you'll get your Bitcoin off the blockchain.
AVGO. I like the pick. Look at that trend line. Trade the chart, not your heart.
I like it too.
And it broke through resistance. If you're going to look at buying it today, 12 cents higher than the high.
And the value's starting to rise, so you can see the forecasted data, other things improving as well. But you see the buying price, 237. We got follow through, even broke up higher past this line. Now we're at 239.39. I like what I see. It's in the fast lane. It touches that fast. Maybe give it like 2 candlesticks to break or a severe break. The fast lane does really well on this.
You see what my number 2 says? He's talking crap so far today about Crypto, Canada, Space Force, Ryan's picks, and it ain't over yet. Wow.
Canada.
Wow. All right, that's fine. I'm just saying. But I ain't lying about none of it.
We might as well put you in the White House at this point.
I can just start tweeting stuff. Sezzle.
I can just start tweeting
Look at that.
stuff.
Look at this. Sezzle. Sezzle. Look at that trend. Look at that. Another good pick. Love the earnings per share. I don't want that. In the fast
lane. Hey, as long as the stock remains in the fast lane, make money.
Where is it?
Make some money.
It should be VectorVest graph, YT. There it is. So the VectorVest graph, looking at the price.
Look at the valuation tick up, too. It's rather flat.
The what?
Earnings per share.
Oh, valuation. I thought you said that. Look at the, I don't know what you said.
And then the earnings per share, nice tick up in that as well.
What concerns us, Ryan?
That decreasing volume.
Means there's less conviction to the move. But look at RT is pegged. Earnings per share, long term, I like the play. It is in an uptrend. RT confirms that. The trend confirms that. The 8 exponential confirms that. Oh, Lord, don't let him tweet. Man, could you imagine me tweeting? I'd be like, crypto sucks. Boom. That's how I would put it.
And then Bitcoin shoots goes.
That's not how it would happen. Sezzle volume is down. That's true, Troy. That does catch our attention. That does definitely catch our attention. All right, go to the next one. Sezzle, I like.
Yeah, Ryan. If you're in it, be careful because of that dropping volume.
You know what's interesting? Look at the gap, and it never faded the gap.
But never say never. It's still got time to fade it. You did some bottom fishing in there, and you got close to $30. Hey, you got a good cushion, and you're probably in a pretty good spot. But as far as opening a new position, I don't like what I see. Just as far as the fundamentals with the earnings per share,
and it never hit my buy point.
But as far as the technicals, RT remains above 1. The stock pretty much filled this gap right here. So, we all know NVIDIA's earnings probably going to be the catalyst for SMCI to potentially, break this and get a new 3-month high.
I'm starting a new series on Friday.
Janice says falling knives on QQQ right now. We'll take a look at the Qs as we close out here in a few minutes.
I'm starting a new series on the Friday videos.
It's called SMCI Fridays?
No. It's talking about a big hurdle that most investors have for the next 3 weeks or so, I'm going to do a series on how to know how to close out of your stocks, or how to
sell.
Yes, how to sell.
That's a good video.
Three weeks in a row. We're starting this Friday, because I think that's a major hurdle for investors, especially on YouTube. Everybody's looking for the hottest freaking stock in the world. But guess what? Sometimes you get into it and then you lose money. You lose a lot of money. That's a big hurdle for investors. So Friday's 6 p.m. video is going to address the hurdle of knowing when to sell. SMCI, I don't think either one of us like. I don't. I'm not a fan of it. It is moving around with the 8 exponential moving average, but it's in a channel. It is in a channel. If I'm going to start to get serious about SMCI, I need it to break above that level of resistance.
Your buy point's 48.27.
Never hit.
Never hit it.
Never hit it.
Again, we'll see what happens with NVIDIA's earnings, but if anything can cause it to go higher. Yeah, that's a good poll. Will NVIDIA be up or down tomorrow?
Good thing I told Joey to put that up there. All right. Way to go, Joey. Thanks for listening, bud.
Always.
All right, let's go to the next one. GEV.
Let's go to a 1 year chart.
Wow, hitting a new 1 year high.
Double bottom.
That's a W.
That's
a W for win.
Is that what the W means?
Yes. In my way of thinking, it's that's
value
a W
on the
for
rise,
win.
price action on the rise, earnings per share on the rise. Long term, I like everything I see here.
Put that back on a 3 month for me.
As far as 3 month,
draw a trend line. That's a beautiful trend line. I know that it's overvalued, but value is rising. Look at the trend line. Trade the chart. Trend line is up, breaking through resistance above the 8 exponential moving average. Earnings is rising. RT confirms it. Everything is good about this stock. Wow.
Clean energy. Nice full body candlestick today. I like what I see here.
Lee said something. What did Lee say? Because Joey liked it. Can we do a poll? Oh, good thing damn, I can't take credit for it. Damn it. He put it out there, and I tried to take credit for it. It was Lee that put it up there. Dang.
Who put it up there?
Lee. Joey put it up because Lee wanted it.
84% are saying yes. They think NVIDIA will be up tomorrow.
It's going to be about what we're going to be here live for it. HIMS. Ooh, HIMS is coming off the high. Positive sign is that it's bouncing off that level of support. There's the buy point of 52.47.
It got all the way up to almost $70.
Yeah.
What's the high here?
And guess what? No. Just put there you go. You do it.
All right, 65.89. That's $15, almost $50 high. That's about 30%. It went
so
up.
How about candlesticks? That day, what was that day? That was a bearish harami with follow through. That would have been a good call to get out here instead of getting out here. Again, these are the things that I'm going to talk about in Friday's 6 p.m. video for the next 3 weeks. Knowing when to sell your positions. No matter what stock you're in, having an idea of when to sell your positions. How many of you think that that's a good idea for a Friday 6 p.m. video as a series? Type of 1 in the room. Type of 1 in the room. A Fox says sales was up 544,000%. Have a good day, Vix.
Sizzle.
All right, let's go to the next
544,000%.
All right, for Sizzle.
For Sizzle, Dizzle?
You can't say that. You can't. I can. I'm not going to tell you why, but you can't.
All right, Snoopaloop.
That's right. Interesting on TSSI. Look at the gap. Faded the gap. Staying above the 8 exponential, even though it's down for 2 days in a row. Very interesting in play. If you're in it, little volatility going on.
I do like the valuations rising, earnings per share rising.
I agree.
For a momentum play that is overvalued, I do see some optimism in there.
But I don't like this volatility.
And what I see here.
What do you see, Ryan? Ooh, a little wedge.
Get more volatility. It's probably going to be a pivot.
It's going to break one way or the other, right?
Yeah, and that's probably going to happen, potentially tomorrow or the next few candlesticks. See which way it breaks and play it accordingly. But you can see the consolidation, getting closer and more range bound.
Interesting.
Corporate says Snoopaloop.
That's right.
I'm calling you Snoopaloop.
Snoopaloop. Galaxy, buy digital, or is that like a buy digital? Can you be buy digital? I don't know. It's crypto.
I'm not even responding.
Listen,
I like my job.
I do too. I do too. I'm going to stop saying anything about it.
But here's a great example of a valuation tool, right? Think about this. Galaxy Digital Holdings, most people probably never heard of this stuff. The company, however, was very undervalued and a very speculative play, right? A lot of these crypto companies are overvalued, kind of like the quantum, but to find an undervalued crypto play, that's a treat. And you can see, look, price action.
It paid off.
Literally rose to value, kind of met somewhere in here. Yeah, met right about there, around $22. The stock was trading around $10 when we valued it, closer to 30, met in the middle. But look, valuation dropping, price action dropping. Price action still
a little bit of rebound there.
This would have been a nice run. I'd wait as far as like a nice level of support, probably somewhere in here if I had to guess. You can see we're already touching the top level of this, but we
how many lines are you going to draw on the ground? I'm just asking
maybe
for
like
a
15
friend.
More.
John Boston asked me how many lines.
Yeah, right. John asked you that.
John asked me how many lines we were going to draw. And I don't like the falling earnings.
I don't like the falling earnings.
All right, next one, Lunar. It's holding above the 8. Down day to day, and it's still a buy.
RT finally above 1, though.
It is. And look at the trend.
But everything else, like about price action on decline, value decline, EPS on decline. This is a news-driven stock. We all know about the rover that went to the moon.
And fall down, go boom.
The stock went to the moon, and then the rover fell over, and so did the stock price.
Pretty much.
So if you're not keeping up with its moon missions and what's going on with its rovers, you might want to avoid this one. This one gets volatile.
But it's a buy. No. UNH, no. Below, there's my 8x.
But it's undervalued, Glenn.
No.
Oh, man.
It's provocative. It gets the people going. It gets the people hyped.
Oh, yeah. That's a good song. What's the name of that song again?
I'm not. No. Joey, what's the name of that song? What's the name of that song? About,
All right, we're moving on.
What's the name of that song? UNH.
But can't you say that, Snoopaloo?
Wow, let's move it on.
Yeah, right?
All right, moving on.
You don't like how that feels.
Wow.
Getting put on the hot seat.
Look at that. So it's below the 8 exponential moving average. UNH is a good play long term, just not right now. Just not right now. I can't hear you anymore. Keep breaking up. Good boy.
Because we're laughing.
I don't know. I'm not saying anything.
It's probably better you didn't hear that, Kathy.
That's pretty true.
That's pretty
true. RT, tell me if the stock's in a downtrend, not in an uptrend.
Well, I do like here. Look, the volume. Yeah. Buyers came in on this dip. There hasn't been much of a rally, but you see the volume tapering off. I mean, if we don't get conviction here soon, I'd be careful. If you bought this dip here, just be careful.
All right, I am going to look at 2 more stocks. JCI, there was another one. I forgot what it was. But JCI, Johnson Controls.
And put in the QQQ real quick.
That's what it was. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, JCI, I like the move. I like the move.
That's about as steady Eddie as you're going to get.
It is overvalued, but value is rising. It's running with that 8 exponential moving average. New 3-month high, 6-month high, 1-year high. The stock is doing exactly what you want to do, which is go up in price. The volume is pretty steady. Earnings per share is nice. I like this play. And you know something? I can play this from the perspective of knowing when to sell it. I could play that 8 exponential moving average if it closes below it. What? What you smiling at me for?
I was just reading Michael Graves' comment.
What did Michael say? You guys are a lot of fun. Can I come work with you? No. How about that? But we'd love. Thank you for supporting the channel.
You were such a bully.
Why? I just said no. I didn't say yo. I just said no. But Michael, thank you for supporting the channel, and we're always here.
Can you sing better than Glenn?
All right, and let's go to the Q's. Last one.
Let's do intraday. See what's
you want intraday? Go ahead. Go on intraday. You know how to do it? No. Go up to the top where it says intraday 1 minute.
Shh, I know how to do it.
I don't think you do. You got to take value off. I think it's value. Is value on there?
No, we just got to do this.
Oh, okay. You would have
done better. There's that sell-off. We were talking about, that's a steep sell-off. But look at the volume coming here. That's everyone who's scared of NVIDIA's earnings. This is everyone who's not scared of NVIDIA's earnings.
You know something? That is. I mean, that's not wrong. I think that's not wrong.
That's just big companies, big entities, even individuals reassessing going into earnings. You know?
Add bullying innocent clients to guns with. Wow.
Janice.
Michael,
Janice for the win.
Michael, did I bully you? Yes or no? Did I bully you? I had to exit YouTube and log back in. I'm glad to have you back, Chris. I don't know what happened. It could have been something on your side.
I ain't scared.
Listen. Michael, did I bully you? I hope Michael, let me know if I bullied you, because if I do, I will give you a public apology right here, right now.
And if you own NVIDIA, at least 100 shares of it, selling a covered call.
Or buying a protective put.
I like the idea of collecting the premium.
And if you don't own it, would you be adverse to putting a straddle on?
No, yeah. I think that would be fair.
Michael ain't answering because he left the room. Did he really leave the room?
Anybody know what the options market's got for a swing on NVIDIA before we head out? I know someone might know that information.
What is your question?
What the options market is pricing as far as a swing on NVIDIA?
Can we look it up?
Probably just Google it. Be the quickest way. Otherwise, you got to calculate the spreads.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I know.
Did Michael really leave?
And I have Options Pro to do that right now.
I don't think we have options. I think I do have Options Pro.
Just Google it.
I don't want to Google
306.
Tools. Launch Options Pro.
No. It's not installed.
Oh, it's not installed here. Okay, it's on my side.
There it is. Plus or minus 8.5 till the end of the week, Ryan. Thank you, Joe. I knew someone would know. So that's the expected move on NVIDIA. So if we take a look at NVIDIA real quick. Actually, let's do that when we get back. We're coming back at 4:45, right?
Yeah, we're going to be back at 4:40.
Then we'll have nothing to talk about if we just keep talking about NVIDIA.
Yeah.
You want to sign us out, and I'll sign us in for NVIDIA? Or do you want me to sign out and you sign us in for NVIDIA?
No, I'll let you sign us in for NVIDIA. It's going to be a big story.
Yes,
be big news.
Yes, it will. So definitely folks, stick with us for that.
Thank you for being here. Michael, if you left the room, if you go back and watch the replay, I'm sorry, man. I was just messing with you. I'm not a bully. Give me your lunch money. I'm going to sign off. We're going to come back today for the NVIDIA live earnings call, all right, at 4:45. Adios, arrivederci. Ciao, au revoir, aloha. For all my peeps in Hawaii, love my peeps in Hawaii. I love you all. Always remember, there's always good people in the world. If you can't find one, be one. Odabu, bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu.